There was that one in Australia.
Oh man, yeah, right by the Great Barrier Reef, and your job was to like go out and like count fish or something.
And I picture someone like half naked with a laptop in a hammock.
That sounds horrible.
Drinking out of a coconut, and they'd actually pay you. And this is the story that Australia put out to get someone to do that. And
Evil genius.
Billions of value they got out of this.
Oh.
Advertising was huge.
Well, do you remember that little Greek island that was just off the mainland, and it was like a cat. It was like a cat rescue or like a cat enclave or something, and you got to live in the cottage and take care of the cats, and then the rest of the time was yours, and you got paid for it.
Were they everywhere?
Well, shoot, there were like 100 of them, but that's not huge. For a cat refuge, it's not like
how many cats?
A lot of cats. 100.
Let's get.
Well, they're not living all with you. They all lived in other areas too, but you get the whole island.
Let's talk about the one we're talking about, San Pablo Bay.
Where we have personal experience.
The bay is next to.
Oh, welcome to the Todd and Erin Daily
Hi.
Stream, by the way. How are you?
Job of the century. Are you ready? First of all, $130,000. Boom in your lap. San Francisco Bay. This is San Pablo Bay, which is connected right to it. You can see the Bay Bridge. As you know what? Let's just show them some of our pictures.
Yes.
So here are some of the pictures we took. We've been there twice.
We went there together the first time for like a romantic getaway, and I saw this place, and I went, oh, because Todd was raised on the East Coast, where
Go ahead.
there's a lot of lighthouses.
Ask me for the history.
Todd, would you happen to have the history of the East Brother Lighthouse?
In 1874, it was established to help sailors navigate the misty waters surrounding San Francisco because they kept running into the rocks.
That's a
and
problem.
so what they did is they built this. It was a pinnacle of rocks, a big peak, and they blew the top of it off, made it big enough for a house and a caretaker's house and a foghorn house, and put a water cistern so it rained, it collected it in the courtyard, and basically made a man-maintained or woman-maintained lighthouse. And it was automated in the 60s. But the Historical Society, they'd still need the light.
And the cottage was beautiful, though.
Yeah.
The house that the lighthouse was situated, it
here's
was
some
amazing.
more. Just keep looking at the photos.
And so they turned it into...
They turned it into a bed and breakfast.
But it was historically accurate. So when
pay
you go
for
in
it.
and you've got all the old furnishings, and it's situated the way it would have been in the early 1900s, and just beautiful. And you have dinner, and the lighthouse keeper's wife gives you this amazing dinner, and there's sherry afterwards for dessert as you have civilized conversation.
Here's your job. Here's your job. Don't have to be husband and wife. Don't need to be boyfriend, girlfriend. Don't need to be boyfriend.
I think it helps, though.
You just need to work together. And the deal is that one of you has to have a Coast Guard
license. It's commercial boat license, because you ferry people out from the scariest little port in the history of the world.
And the current is like, at certain
Super
times
tricky.
of the day, is scary.
And then you climb up the ladder, and they have to hoist the boat.
The boat, you drive up to a hook and hook the boat, and then you climb out, and then the boat is lifted out of the water. Okay, that's the cool part. Now let's move on to the food. So you have guests 4 nights a week or 4 days a week. You have to do breakfast and dinner. You have to ferry people back and forth.
And that's it? I mean, hello?
Do the sheets, cleaning.
I could do all of that.
All the toilets flushed with salt water.
Oh, we could do the show from there.
my gosh,
We could
that'd
still
be
do the
great.
show from there. That might even be like an advantageous thing.
Except for, you need to have the cooking experience, which I do have, but not commercially. I don't have I didn't work in a restaurant for.
You have a food handler's permit. That's all you need.
Okay, I don't have the license for the boat. You need that.
I mean, how many people have you cooked for before? Like an average of 50 every holiday.
I know, but
hello.
And it is a set menu. Okay, we could do
and
it.
it's like 4 or 5
But
couples at the most.
Here's the point: they get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands. And this is the first time we've seen it actually in the news. And usually they only end up with a dozen people qualified who have the license for the boat, who have this, that, and the other.
We could still get that license for you super fast. And I can cook a set menu.
You notice we haven't mentioned the foghorn yet, have you?
But we're so pleasant and welcoming.
I remember
we'd be perfect for this.
I remember it being every 40 seconds.
Oh, no.
What was yours?
It was like 3 times an hour.
Where's my...
You get used to it. It wasn't that long. It It wasn't that long.
It felt like it. So anyway,
Oh, but it was amazing.
I guess you get used to it. The smell, the water, the ships.
And it's so beautiful, and you're standing there in a massive freighter. We'll go back.
Diorama time. Now you've seen some of our photos. Okay, so let's give you the diorama tour, shall we?
I think I've seen one of those since grade school.
Enjoy. All right, so this is where you stay when you go there. Erin, where'd we stay?
Beautiful old house. And I think the first time we stayed there, I wanted the balcony room that was up here. So we got this here, and there's a cool stairway. Once around here is where the cistern is, and then the gate, the lighthouse keeper's place is back here. But there's this cool little stairway that goes all the way down to the water. And you can see all the crazy currents, and it's just beautiful. And then this is the little area where everybody sits and plays board games. Because there's no internet.
This is where you go into the kitchen. Now, one night, the night we were there, we had the whole place to ourselves.
It was wonderful.
And so what we did is we went from our room here, and we went in and up the stairs, and then this way, and up here. And if I remember correctly, we stood right here.
Right here in front.
Oh, here in front?
This is where the shipping lane was for the port, remember?
No.
As they were going into the bay.
I think you're wrong. But we made out like high school kids, and as we did, the 17-story freighter came by like this.
It was incredible.
It was huge. It was amazing. So anyway, what's the name of it again?
It's the East Brother Lighthouse, and the nice thing about it is you can still get rooms there if you wanted to go and stay. And when we did it, I think it was like $120 for both of us, and dinner and breakfast and everything.
No.
It's an amazing price.
Wow.
You couldn't sleep in the back of someone's car for $120 in San Francisco, but it was one of the most amazing experiences, so we went back with friends, and it was still incredible. The Todd and Erin Daily Stream is brought to you by PC Laptops, with desktops and laptops starting as low as $7.99 with a lifetime parts and service warranty. They fix phones too. Go to PCLaptops.com.
All right, time for Tell Me Something Good.
And this is so very good. Okay, it's been 96 years. Dwayne Sherman just celebrated his birthday. He's a World War II veteran, Purple Heart recipient, and let's be honest, he spent most of his life without texting or the internet.
Right.
And frankly, by the time everything started popping up, he's like, you know, I really like handwritten letters. And he had a lot of friends, a lot of veterans who had been in the war with him. And, you know, it creates this unshakable bond because they go through experiences we can't imagine. And so they had kept in touch with each other for decades upon decades.
With mail. Handwriting.
Handwritten letters in the mail.
Imagine that.
Children, this is something we used to do when we were small. You would take a piece of paper and you would write on it, put it in an envelope, put a stamp on the front, and send it in the mail, which is still such a nice thing to get a letter.
And you get home before it got there, which is the funny thing.
Oh, pretty much, yeah. But here's the thing that's really sad. Obviously, at 96 years old, Dwayne has seen a lot of his friends and a lot of his comrades from the war pass
away, yeah.
And so his final friend, who he kept in touch with, passed away earlier this in 2018, and he told his daughter, I guess I won't be having any birthday cards this year.
Oh, no.
And you think about it, and it's like, this is a big thing for him, 96 years old. Well, his daughter, Sue, was so saddened by this because it was one of the things that her father held on to.
It ends nicely.
So what she did is she took to the internet, the much maligned internet that her father refused to.
The interweb.
To get into, and she said, look, and explained the situation about her dad, World War II vet, Purple Heart recipient, feeling like he was alone. And if you have a chance, would you mind mailing my dad a birthday card?
How'd that go?
Well, she received cards from across 50 states, all 50 states, 10 countries, over 50,000 cards, 50,000 birthday cards. And so on his birthday, the veteran said, hi, what do you guys got for me? And his daughter brought out the cake, and his grandkids were like, hey, Grandpa. And then it was sack upon sack upon sack upon sack of mail.
Oh, my gosh.
And he said, this is like Christmas, birthday, New Year's, and like Valentine's Day all wrapped together for like 5 years in a row.
Yeah.
And the thing he said he was most excited about is because I'm going to have new cards and letters to open every single day. And maybe some of those people would like me to write them back.
This is totally true.
Isn't that gorgeous? I would totally do that. All right, now tell me about the Hubble. This is Science Corner, Todd's Science Corner here on the Todd and Erin Daily Stream.
Basically, the Hubble. The Hubble replaced the other gyro-controlled satellite that takes pictures of the outer galaxies.
The other one, okay.
And the Hubble was great. Hubble had a problem, though. Hubble had a problem with a mirror. Do you remember? And they went up and they went.
It was part of the solar reflection mirror, right?
Oh, crap. We didn't. so where's the Windex? And
Didn't remember that
They had
part.
to send someone up and take care of it and stuff like that. Well, evidently, they were trying on October 5th, and due to a faulty gyro, they couldn't get, number one, it to remain still to take the picture
Oh, that's not good.
and not jiggle because the gyro is running at a weird rate. So they switched over because outer space is basically built on having a backup system. What do they call that?
Pretty much everything.
Everything.
Redundant systems?
Redundancy.
Yeah.
And so they tried the second one, which hadn't been started up in 7.5 years. And they did, and it ran at like this crazy speed, and it was just like, oh no. And
Also
they were
not
like,
super helpful.
They're like, ah.
These are like the smartest people in the world. Tell me now to fix this. They've
It's
got
like,
the glasses.
They turn it left, they turn the whole thing. They turn it left, they turn it right, they turn it upside down, they try shaking it like this, and nothing happened. And so this is what I picture. I picture they're all sitting around, and there's some guy with a cigar hanging on his, and I know they don't smoke at NASA anymore, but that's what I picture with glasses like this. And he's going, what are we gonna do? And he goes, we could do this, we could do that. And then some little guy steps up with
Why are
a
you
pocket
using a New
projector,
Jersey accent?
and he stands up and he goes, well, you know, boss, we could always turn it off and turn it back on.
Which is everything we do with computers.
And the boss is like, are you telling me, son, that we're going to take something that costs $700 million up in space and simply take a thing and turn it off and turn it back on again to see if it works?
Always does, doesn't it?
Okay, let's give that a try.
So did they?
Okay, it works. Everybody back to work. Okay,
Are you
let's go.
serious?
Nice job.
No.
They rebooted it. They rebooted the Hubble, and everything works fine.
There you go. Everything was fine.
See, it doesn't work anymore, but earlier on, 10 years ago, that was that's how you solved everything, was to reboot it. Turn it off and turn it back on, and it'll reboot itself. We don't have that issue anymore, but it was just like so funny, and so they got this satellite, and imagine the guy just going, okay, just turn it off.
We
And it
never even
worked.
used to call the engineers room radio. We would just pull the plug and then stick it back in because we knew if they came in, they'd go, it was operator error, wasn't it?
Right, operator error.
But we would pull the
always.
plug out and put it back in. Everything was fine
And
again.
we're, shh, don't tell anybody.
All right, are you ready for the two most stupid criminals ever? And this is local, which makes me
Is
very
it?
happy.
All right, let me have it.
All right, here's the first. Now, you and I have been to Odyssey Dance Theater's thriller performances many times.
Yeah.
The zombies, the awesome
They
dancing.
do it all along the Wasatch Front.
Jasons, and yeah.
Yeah.
And they sell out every year. They're pretty amazing. Well, they were up in on Main Street, Park City, because they perform at the theater there.
Yes.
And the zombies.
The Egyptian, isn't it?
Yeah. And the dancers, the zombies, would kind of lurch up and down the street as kind of like part of the promotional phase of, oh my gosh, it's Thriller.
Right.
Now, the thing that's nice about this, we had them come to Erin's Night Out one year, and they're good at what they do.
They're freaky.
It was, people were like,
Yeah.
oh, that's intense. And
It's like bumping into your ex at Walmart. Scary.
how am I going to continue after that?
Go for it. So what happened?
Well, so this is what they were doing. So they were doing their nice little, they're like between 13 and 16.
Okay,
Little
so-
zombie adorable
they're-
dancers,
they're
13 to
going
16.
down the
going,
street like this and kind of on people, not touching them,
yeah.
just leering over their shoulders.
and Daryl Yeager, who's the artistic director, talks about this. He says you go by people,
You don't
go,
touch them.
but you never touch. You
Right,
never touch.
right.
Well, apparently, what had happened is that Drew Stephen Hyde, who was from Nevada,
Mm-hmm.
had his family, and they were walking up and down Main Street in Park City, celebrating his daughter's 16th birthday.
Okay.
When they came across the zombies in an alley next to the Egyptian theater.
Did they not know the show was going on?
He shoved all 5 of them down the stairs.
Oh, crap.
Now, if you've been up there and you know the difference between the very steep streets, there's stairways that go pretty much at this pitch
Yeah, they're really
down to the next
steep.
street.
Yeah.
And he's a big guy.
What was
He
his-
denied shoving them down the stairs and said, I just accidentally struck one of them with the back of my hand because my daughter was hysterical. I didn't know that they were teenagers. I just saw zombies. I thought they were on drugs.
Where's he from?
Nevada. And so the girls all had bruises. And one of the girls actually did get punched by Dad. And so he was originally charged with 5 counts of child abuse, which is a Class A misdemeanor. He finally pled guilty to 2 counts of assault yesterday in Park City, but still claimed once again that he feels like this was unreasonable because they could have just been on drugs and he was protecting his family.
These people have full makeup on.
They were 13.
They're green and gray.
They're dancers. They're
And
like
they've
little.
got-
They're like built like this. They're little fragile
They're
slips.
just...
And he knocked. And you've seen those stairways. Think of the steepest, longest stairway you can picture, and that is the stairways up in Park City between the streets.
Picture this. In Nevada, okay. 3 o'clock in the morning in a casino. They look less scary than that. Does that make any sense? People all hanging around the crap table, or I should say craps.
Craps table. Well,
Yeah.
it is crap.
It's the same. Yeah, the zombies were not even as scary as those people
Well,
there.
my favorite defense is when he said, "I feared for my life." He's 6'2" and weighs 230 pounds.
And zombies are fictional.
13-year-old girl dancers who
Nice
are built
job.
like this.
Nice job.
So that one was good. Okay, and here's the other ridiculously stupid one. Do you remember Black Island Farms is one of our favorite farms ever. We go there for all the Halloween festivities. They have the corn maze, and we always take the kids out on the tractor and we cut the pumpkins.
It's outside of Syracuse.
And it's this year they had kind of a difficult time because the farm was sold, so they had to move everything, all the festivities, all the fall activities. They had to move all of the personnel to a new farm.
They actually had to, when they moved the farm, they have to move their whole producing. They had to move their corn. They
all
had
of the
to
harvest,
move
everything.
they had to replant a whole new farm, which is like a big endeavor.
And these are groups of people. They have to find places to live. They had to find a new place that they could support
Right.
people on. So we really kind of supported
We
them
love
this year,
them.
and we were pushing them real hard because like they got it, and they're like, we think we're going to get this done in time. We can do it, and they had the big corn maze laid out. And then 3 youths, the Utes, decided it would be super fun to get drunk and find one of the tractors and go for a ride.
This is just before Halloween started.
18 and 19 years old, Brady Dawn Hansen, Nathan James Westmoreland, and Bronson Chase Reeder in Hooper, Weber County were charged with criminal mischief and because of the amount of damage they caused, trespassing, and apparently they initially lied to the police, which is always a bad start.
I have a question.
Yes.
Because I'm not sure which way this went because I read it really fast. They had their cornfield, and they usually do this incredible corn maze.
And this is a huge bulk of their money for the year as everyone comes to celebrate. And
Was that already done?
Everything was set and ready
That's
to go
right.
for the
It
festivals.
was. It was
And-
already cut,
and they
cleared. Everything was.
They
Yeah.
destroyed enough that Black Island Farms had to cancel all of their Halloween activities,
They couldn't
which is
put it
the bulk
together.
of their financial thing for the year.
So
So they
now-
essentially destroyed everything.
So
Well, here's my
now-
favorite part. You know, one of the guys apparently told police, I was at a Weber State football game. I wasn't there. I couldn't have possibly done that. Guess how they caught them?
How?
All the youths had posted pictures of themselves on the tractor
All the
on
idiots.
Snapchat.
Oh, there you go.
Snapchat.
See, if you become...
Like, look how funny this is. We just trashed an entire farm.
Yeah. If you become a suspect, they don't tell you right away. They go and get your evidence on you, and then they come and ask you questions. Usually when the cops ask you questions,
They're pretty sure of the
they
answers.
already know what the answers are.
Or should be.
So anyway, so now let me run down through this because I had my friend had a bad experience in Maine, and he drove through a cornfield. And he was then prosecuted for the damage to the crops per acre. And he had to get his vehicle taken out of there, and there was trespassing, and there was all these different things. So I imagine that's what these kids were up against.
Well, you think about the amount of work of moving an entire farm and then replanting and harvesting and trying to get everything ready and trying to make people aware of where you were now and all of this.
Ugh.
And you're all ready to go. And this is
Aye.
80% of the funding for the farm. And then you have to let everything drops in one night because they thought it would be fun.
You know, it'd be really cool. The sentence is next October when they do this. They have them. Do you remember in Pirates of the Caribbean?
Oh,
when
I
they're
hope you're
pulling-
thinking Children of the Corn,
and
actually.
they're pulling into the harbor, and they have all the pirates hanging there as a warning. They should have them do that the entire time, not being dead.
That would be awesome.
That would be cool. Okay,
Just
very
chuck
good.
ears of corn at them.
All right, so
yay!
tickets are being sold for the Psychic Fair. We have that online.
4th annual Todd and Erin Psychic Fair. Did you realize it's been 4 years?
I'm surprised every time we mention
anyone ever
something.
comes up for anything again.
Yes.
So anyway, tickets are on sale. They're only $5. Great breakout sessions. We have tons and tons of wonderful vendors for handmade jewelry and clothing and body care and all kinds of spiritual cool things with charms and crystals and stuff. And then, of course, the psychics who are amazing. So this is the chance for you if you've been wanting, if you've had questions, if you maybe wanted me to talk to somebody you love, who you've lost, anything you want, this is the time to get the answers and get your focus set.
Where do they get them?
This is super easy. If you want to just go to the Todd and Erin DailyStream.com, you can see all the links there, or you can also just go to Eventbrite and get your tickets there. It's going to be on Friday, March 22nd from 5 to 10 p.m. And the readings are only $10. So it's pretty cool. It's down at the Viridian Event Center in West Jordan. It's gorgeous.
Which is a really cool place.
It's going to be fun.
Thanks for watching. We appreciate that. We'll see you tomorrow on the Todd and Erin Daily Stream.